What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. We got some major things to cover here. What's going on here in our country here for you guys here in this video. Let's jump right in. Here we go. The price of oil jumping here yet again as OPEC weighs cutting oil production here yet again, which will affect the price of oil worldwide, which will affect the price of oil and gas prices here in the United States. You can see here the price of oil jumped by more than $4 a barrel already just on the thought of OPEC cutting production, which they've already cut production here this year once on 100,000 barrels a day. Now they're thinking about cutting production again. And remember that this isn't the US, this is OPEC. And this affects the world because remember that oil and oil production, the price of oil, is a worldwide price. Okay, you can see here the price of oil right now fluctuating by the minute, actually. $82, $82.50 here for WTI crude, $88 for Brent crude. Natural gas prices actually coming down here. That's been a big surprise here, actually. So natural gas prices have come down here recently. Still very, very high though. Natural gas prices, if you heat your home with natural gas, still going to be very, very expensive here this winter. But we have seen gas prices here jump pretty dramatically here in some states, especially California here recently. And we could see them go up even more if OPEC cuts production even more, which they're probably going to. You can see here oil prices jumped more than $4 a barrel on Monday as OPEC considers reducing output by more than 1 million barrels a day. Last time they only cut it by 100,000 barrels a day. This would be the biggest cut since the start of the pandemic. See, here's the problem with these major oil conglomerates, major oil companies, these, Saudi Arabia, all these different things here, even Russia, is that when the price of oil gets too low, what do? They cut production so that they can make more money. Even though the price of gas hasn't really gone that low here in the US, President Biden's actually warned the oil companies multiple times here. I'll show you here right here. Here was just a few days ago. Biden tells oil companies, bring down the prices you're charging to reflect the price of the pump according to the price that you're paying for the price of oil. Because really the price of the pump should be a lot cheaper in correlation to the price of oil, because the price of oil at 80 some dollars a barrel should actually be a lot cheaper than what we're paying. But that's the thing here, is that these oil and gas companies can really charge us whatever they want. And this is the problem. So now what does OPEC want to do? They want to cut oil production even more so that our gas prices go even higher, as if we're not paying enough. And then you'll get everybody blaming President Biden like he has control over this, when they're going to cut production by up to 1 million barrels a day. So that's the thing here, is these oil and gas companies know exactly what they're doing to keep their profits and their sales as high as possible, while we, the consumers and the people, pay as much as possible. And then they'll blame anybody who they can except themselves. This is the sad reality of it. So we'll just blame anybody who we can, whether it be the president, the government, other countries, even the war. And honestly, all these people have a little bit of blame, But nobody will end up, I mean, some people will actually see the truth that a lot of it has to do with the oil companies. They're going to cut production by a million barrel, hundred thousands of barrels because they don't want the supply and demand to get out of whack and actually the cost to be actually where it should be. And don't forget, they're actually charging us more than it should be at the pump to begin with. Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. And meanwhile, when we look at our national average gas prices here, um, we're now going back up. When we look at where we are here a week ago, we're up 7 cents from a week ago. And from a month ago, we're exactly the same price where we are a month ago. 379, 379, basically 380. So we have now not gone down in about a month. So we're back to where we were a month ago. We have not lost any gas cost in a month. The other problem here is that some states, like California, who happens to be the largest population state by a long shot, is seeing massive, massive price gouging, for lack of a better word, which is really exactly what's happening. Yeah, so look at what is happening in California. If this isn't criminal, you let me know your thoughts here, especially because remember that the price of oil is in the 80s. And back in March, this was at 135 and this was over 140. So this is like 50 some dollars a barrel cheaper than what it was in March. That's a lot. So here's California's gas prices right now, average gas prices. 638. A week ago, it was 579. 580. So we'll round up to 580 here. That's a gain of 58 cents in 1 week. Yeah, so gas in California has gone up 58 cents in 1 week. A month ago, it was 525. Now it's 638. That means that gas has gone up $1.13 in a month, even though the price of oil hasn't gone up. It's still in the 80s, which is $50 a barrel lower than the high that we hit back in March. So why has gas gone up by $1.13 in a month and 50 some cents in a week in California? This is a criminal act, guys. Criminal. How is this allowed? California Governor Gavin Newsom says oil company extortion is behind disproportionately rising gas prices in California. How we are going to allow this is unbelievable. California Governor Gavin Newsom is lashing out at oil companies who says that they are fleecing Californians with gasoline prices that are rising disproportionately in the Golden State. Quote, the fact is they're ripping you off. Their record profits are coming at your expense, Newsom said in a scathing video posted to Twitter on Friday. Here, take a listen.
Gas prices in California have increased by a record 84 cents per gallon in just over 1 week. That's a $2.50 difference compared to U.S. prices. It just doesn't add up. The degree of divergence from the national prices has never happened before. And oil companies, they provide no explanation. The fact is, they're ripping you off. Their record profits are coming at your expense. And that's why today I'm calling for a windfall tax to ensure these profits go directly back to help millions of Californians who are paying for this oil company extortion. In addition, earlier today, I directed the Air Resources Board to make an early transition to our winter blend gasoline. This should immediately increase supply and result in savings of up to 25 cents per gallon within the next 2 weeks. And starting next week, Millions of you, millions of Californian families will receive up to $1,050 in tax refunds to help offset rising costs. We're not going to stand by while greedy oil companies fleece Californians.
Now, remember that the United Kingdom did do this exact thing. They imposed a windfall tax to help households as their bills surge, and they actually gave it back to the people. Now, the challenge here in the United States might be getting Republicans to actually vote for this and not defend the gas companies. The United Kingdom did this. Now, state by state, maybe they could do this. California might be able to do this. Individual states might be able to do this. Remember here that Republicans, you can see here, House Democrats passed bill against gas price gouging with no Republican votes. So this is the problem. They passed it in the House because the Democrats can pass bills in the House on their own, but it cannot pass in the Senate because they need Republican votes, and not a single Republican voted for it in the House, and they can't even bring it up to vote because they know it'll fail without a single Republican vote. So you can let me know your thoughts here on this, but if we can't hold oil companies accountable, they're literally left with free reign to do whatever they wish. Now, the United Kingdom did impose a windfall tax, as they're not going to let oil companies do what they wish. And they're taxing their windfall profits. And the way it works is Britain announced a 25% windfall tax on oil and gas producers' profits. This was back in May, alongside a $18.9 billion package of support for households struggling to meet their energy bills. The move, which will give each United Kingdom household a £400 discount on their energy bill and more for the lowest income households, marks a change of heart for the Prime Minister's government, which had previously resisted windfall taxes, but finally said, we need to do it. It is the second emergency policy intervention to help with rising bills this year. Quote, we will introduce a temporary and targeted energy profits levy, but we have built into the new levy a new investment allowance that means companies will have a new and significant incentive to reinvest their profits. The package of support was worth £15 billion. A similar support package in February was also worth £9 billion, and said the government was providing £37 billion to help consumers. On top of the £400 energy bill credit for all households, which replaces an earlier repayable £200 grant, the government will provide more targeted support for poorer households than before. More than 8 million low-income households will receive an extra £650 cost of living grant, with smaller additional sums for pensioners and the disabled. This is what the UK is doing, which sounds pretty good, right? So now the California Governor Gavin Newsom's calling for a windfall profits tax, just like the United Kingdom did, as gas in California has just gone up, what was it, like $1.25 in the last month? For what reason? You let me know your thoughts, because the price of oil is sitting in the 80s, well below the high that we had just 6 months ago, $50 a barrel less. And don't forget that OPEC is now going to be potentially cutting oil production by 1 million barrels a day. And if they do that, you can expect the price of oil to skyrocket up, which would mean gas prices would go up even higher. Because remember, oil is traded on a global basis, and that affects gas prices. Remember that the price of oil is the number one factor for the price of gas in the US and worldwide. Yeah. So, as if inflation wasn't bad enough, these are the games that gas and oil companies play. And remember, this also affects the price of your food, the price of your clothing, and the price of every single thing on the grocery store or the Walmart store shelves, because every single thing has to be delivered via truck or airplane and then truck, because everything has to be delivered to the store. So every single thing has delivery charges and fuel surcharges and multiple sets of fuel surcharges or ship charges as well, which is fuel charges. So think about that the next time you go to buy something, what the oil and gas companies are doing to your paycheck, because they're literally taking money out of your pockets every single day, every single time you buy anything, even if it's food. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I will keep you up to date here with everything, including this debacle that the oil companies want to make it seem like they're the nice guys, and it's everybody else's fault except for theirs. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After you subscribe, click the bell icon. This way you won't miss out on our new videos, and I'll keep you up to date here. You can click here to see new checks that are actually coming out here this week to millions of Americans in multiple different states. You can click here to see my newest video update on Social Security raises as well. So click on one of those videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.